A new building has all of the peninsula talking, the new animal shelter in Newport News.
It's set to open this summer, all because the SPCA needed to change the way it does business. 10 on your side's Anita Blanton is here to explain. Anita?
Well, Tom and Nicole, the Peninsula SPCA has been in a contractual agreement for decades with the cities of Newport News, Hampton, Poquoson, and York County. It required them to euthanize animals against their fundamental principles, but in accordance with state law. So their decision in 2010 to stick to their guns and become a no-kill shelter set us on the path toward the new shelter that had to be built as a result, and the concerns for the lives of animals that will end up there. They're down to the finishing touches, things like painting and lighting here at the 30,000 square foot, state-of-the-art Peninsula Regional Animal Shelter that should be open by mid-July. It's been years in the making and causing a stir from the start. I talked to Deborah Griggs, president of the Virginia Federation of Humane Societies.
The city and the leaders will find much more enthusiasm from the community if they step up and step out and declare what their goals are to the community and are completely transparent about that.
Today, Michael Poplawski, who's the Newport News Director of Parks and Recreation, began that conversation.
We may not make the numbers to be qualified as a guaranteed adoption facility, but we're sure going to work toward that goal.
Guaranteed adoption or no-kill facilities put a cap on the number of animals that can be put down at 10%. The Peninsula SPCA, that's always done business with several municipalities, has seen its percentage at 50% or more and realized something had to change. So they decided to give up nearly $1 million in revenue a year and let the cities they've worked with know that they needed to work out a plan of their own. That plan is still coming to fruition.
This particular case, the 4 jurisdictions were very clear in the philosophy wanted to be to employ euthanasia only as a final last resort where all other options failed.
Giving our cameras a first look inside, he said they've invested $7 million taxpayer dollars in this place, $2 million of which has adoptions in mind.
It's an adoption-friendly shelter as opposed to more of a traditional shelter where people may come in and find an animal that they can adopt out, but for the most part, the vast majority of animals may be euthanized.
He says their goals are going to be very similar to a no-kill or guaranteed adoption shelter without the percentage. But that's the issue that's still not sitting quite right.
Their absence of any declaration causes us to wonder.
Well, Deborah Griggs says there are 10 jurisdictions in Virginia that are open admission, like the one in Newport News will be, taking in all animals, and they're saving over 90% of the animals. So think about that on the one hand. On the other hand, though, we also know from Mr. Poplawski that since they're going to be doing adoptions just like the SPCA, what remains to be seen will be whether this takes money out of the SPCA's pocket in the end. We'll have to see how they work together from here. We'll continue to follow up. I'm Anita Blanton in the newsroom for now. 10 on your side.